Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We live. We back, man. Welcome back to the Golden Goose DFS show. I am your host, Chandler Blakely, aka Goose. We are the leaders in single entry 3 max and 20 max content. But listen, man, like I always tell you, have no fear. If that's not your particular style of play, man, it does not matter. If you're playing NBA DFS at all. You hear me? I don't care if you're doing one lineup a day, all week. That's it. This is one of the best spots you can be in, man. Hit that subscribe button. Turn your notification bell on so you can be here rocking with me each and every day when the content drops, alright? Also, since you clicking buttons, just do me one small favor. It's not going to hurt you at all. It's not going to be any sweat off of your back, man. Just scroll on over. Hit that like button for your boy. Help the channel grow, man. Help a small channel try to grow his platform over here. It's greatly appreciated, and I thank you for tuning in. You're tuning in anyway, man. Half of y'all are tuning in. Some of y'all have been tuning in all season and haven't hit the like button once. You know who you are, man. Go on and hit that thing today. Get some good karma, some good energy coming your direction, man. We all need more of that in life, all right? Thank you. I appreciate you being here. This is my starting five, where I bring you five play that's more than likely going to be in my player pool on DraftKings and FanDuel. I always say more than likely because you get midday scratches, afternoon scratches, before lock scratches, after lock scratches. It's just the nature of NBA DFS. You want to make sure you got time to check the news and adjust your lineups, all right? But let's get to it, man. Y'all know I don't like to hold you long. Before we do, though, let's give you my lineup review. Going over my best scoring lineups from last night. What we did right, what we did wrong, all right? Let's get into it. Now, this is my highest scoring lineup, but I'm glad I got it up, and we're going to talk about it. Plenty of mistakes in this lineup, and I know you might be thinking, hey, plenty of mistakes in the lineup. You got 326. Yeah, you came in like 55th place. Yes, I did, but there's still plenty of mistakes in this lineup. Just going to talk about a general overview. Yesterday's slate, man, we was on Terrence Mann. I was on Giannis over Luka. He did outscore Luka for a little bit of cheaper price, but if you went Luka, it didn't make too much of a difference. He still scored like 71. I think Giannis had 76. You saved a few $100 by going Giannis over Luka. I went more Giannis than Luka. That's how I attacked the slate yesterday. Had some Wemby, as you can see here. Didn't have enough Gafford because, like I said, I had more Giannis and Wemby. So that's powerful at some center spots. But definitely could have had Gafford here in this lineup. I don't think I only had like one or two Gafford lineups. Just didn't know if he was starting. And then we had other center value and other value plays to get to yesterday. But the mistake I made here in this lineup is right here with the three Bulls. DeRozan, White, Vooch. This is my mess up right here. Typically, I have a rule in my optimizer. No more than two of these three Bulls here, the big three. Whenever I do the same thing, I'm gonna give y'all a little tip here. Most of the teams with big threes, if my optimizer is giving me a lot of the big three, it wasn't yesterday. That's how they slipped through the crack here. I typically limit them to two. That's for the Bulls, the Clippers, the Pelicans. It's another I can't think of it right now. But normally I have no more than two of the big stars from teams that do most of the teams that have a big three that do most of the scoring. I normally live in the two because it's rare that all three of your big dogs get there. And for the most part, you can do two. But this one slipped through the crack. Like I said, I didn't put that rule in because when I was optimizing lineups, I didn't see this combination that much, so I didn't put the rule in, but I normally have it in all the time. That's just my mess up. So this lineup could have been a lot better because one of these two lower scores should be gone, and it should be somebody else in here making room for potentially a higher score. Not saying that I would have had them in here, but I definitely wouldn't have had DeRozan, White, and Vooch. Those three 7K players, I would have just had two, and that salary could have been allocated somewhere else. All right, but that's where I made my mistake at here in this particular lineup. I lost like half of my buy-in yesterday. Just couldn't get the right combinations. But Terrence, man, you see, I told you yesterday, man, I told the gang, just play him heavy. Heavy play, heavy Terrence Mann, heavy Scottie Pippen Jr. Terrence Mann was great. Scottie Pippen Jr. was, he 5X, but we wanted a little more from him. But Terrence Mann, 34% on 31 fantasy points. Nice, solid outing from him. Andrew Nemhard at 3.6% on. He gave you 29 fantasy points. DeRozan was okay. Right at 40 fantasy points. Got the Torrey Craig, a late addition here as a value piece where everybody was waiting around on that starting lineup, and he was starting with no limitations. Even though he's not my favorite play, he was 3,100, so I just rolled with it. He gave us almost 10x here with 28 fantasy points. Miles Turner got off to a great start, but it really fizzled out. He had like 22 fantasy points in the first quarter. I thought he was in for an epic night to crush, but he still was just solid at 6,100, 38 fantasy points from him. Kobe White, once again, like I said, just let me down in this spot. He was my favorite of the Bulls players. Had a lot of Kobe White. 38 fantasy points. He got off to a rough start and finished up strong, but definitely needed more from him. Wembanyama just crushed in 28 minutes. Did he even get 30? Just absolutely crushed. Triple-double with blocks. I told y'all now, this man is going to get a quadruple. The minute I told the gang, the minute that man see like 35, 36, if he ever get to like 40 minutes, he going to drop a quadruple double on you. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be a quadruple double on you. It's coming. It is in his future, most definitely. But Wemby, your best score on yesterday's slate, man, you had to have some of them. 18% on, gave you 78 fantasy points. And then Vooch down here at the bottom. 45 fantasy points for him, solid at 7,900. But that's my highest scoring lineup, 326. Like I said, I lost like half of my buy-in over here on DK. On FanDuel, missed the cash line by one. It wasn't even 1 point. It's 0.9 or something like that. Cash line was 283. And it was all due to Keontae George just absolutely killing me as the Jazz got crushed here. But as you can see, man, Kobe White once again here. I told you I had a lot of them yesterday. 54% on, 37 fantasy points. Got to DeJounte Murray. Once he was ruled in, I thought it could be a very sneaky play, especially with me having 3 Bulls in my lineup here. I went to Murray, got him at low ownership. He played just okay. 36.5 fantasy points, man. Definitely needed more from him at his price tag. Torrey Craig once again over here. 41% on, 29 fantasy points. And Keontae George, man. 6% on, only 10 fantasy points. Just did nothing for us. Just give me a layup and we cashing easily. DeMar DeRozan, 39 fantasy points. Got to some cool ballet. Just looking for a different value piece over here. 18 fantasy points from him. Got to some Scotty Barnes. 32 fantasy points. He was just Draymond Green once again finished 2 assists side with triple-double. 41 fantasy points from him. Then I got Walker Kessler here at 39 fantasy points. This was John Collins. I thought John Collins would be the starter. I didn't know if Walker Kessler would start in this matchup, especially going against the Golden State team who likes to run small with Draymond at the center. They gave him the start anyway, and they got blowed out. You see how that worked out. But he was still solid, man. 39 fantasy points. Like I said, it was originally John Collins, like I talked about yesterday in the video. But once we got that starting lineup, and I did see Kessler was starting, I was like, okay. I went down to Kessler. 39 fantasy points from here at 9% on. Just missed the money over there, all right? But let's get to today's 6-game slate. We already got it queued up for you. Let's get into it, dive in, and talk about it. At the point guard spot, at the top, I want to look at De'Aaron Fox. 8K, man. Love this game environment here. This is probably the best game on the slate tonight, man. Just from all of the above, man. This is the best game on the slate. The one I'm looking most forward to watching. It should be a nice competitive game. Scoring up over here. I like De'Aaron Fox at 8K, man. He haven't gave us that many big performances this year, but he's definitely capable of it. Sabonis will have a little tougher matchup down low. Being guarded by Nurk, he won't be able to just bully ball and bag his man up under the rim like he does against smaller centers. So a little tougher matchup here for Sabonis down there, but he still can succeed. But the Phoenix Suns give it up to the point guard spot, and they just have nobody that can check Fox up there up top, man. I look for him to get it going here in this spot and deliver us a big performance at 8K. Sign me up for some De'Aaron Fox. At the shooting guard spot, man, give me Tyler Hero. 6,900. Listen, we know these Heat was going to be without Jimmy Butler for a couple of games, and they're without Terry Rozier for a couple of games, who sprained his knee last time out. So it's back to it like it was earlier in the season, the Hero and Bam show, and you can see him down low. We'll talk about him in a second, but definitely sign me up for Tyler Hero against this Milwaukee Bucks team whose defense is nothing to write home about. They give it up to opposing backcourts. Tyler Hero should get whatever shot he wants here in this spot. I'm expecting a lot of dribble handoff and pick and roll up top between him and Bam. Sign me up for Tyler Hero at 6,900. At the small forward, I want to look at Simone Fontecchio, the big fettuccine here, man, 4,700. Saw him in his debut last time for the Detroit Pistons get 32 minutes off the bench. I like that type of workload, and if he's playing that well, the way Detroit is looking, he should soon move into the starting lineup. Possibly this game if it's not, but if he's playing 32 minutes off the bench, I'm perfectly fine with it. In this matchup against the Lakers at 4,700, listen, sign me up for Simone Fontecchio. Very solid producer. He gives you a few stats across the stat sheet here. I like getting to him at 4,700. Very early value piece I'm looking at for the Pistons. At the power forward, just still searching for value. You know we're going to get some news that's going to open it up throughout the day like we always do. But right now I got my eye on Naz Reid, man. The T-Wolves going against the Portland Trail Blazers. And Naz Reid is slotted in for 20 to 25 minutes pretty much every night, barring blowouts, foul trouble, that sort of thing. And in a great matchup here against the Portland Trail Blazers, who just give it up down low to bigs, man. Ayton down there doesn't really do much, and Grant is not a banger down there, down low, man. I'm looking for Naz Reid to do what he do in those 20, 25 minutes. He can give us a score worth having, but this game has the potential to turn into a blowout, man. No Brogdon. Scoot Henderson is questionable up top. Anthony Simons is probable, but he should play. But if for some reason that changes, he misses, this game is just going to get out of hand, man. And outside of the blowout, if anybody picks up foul trouble, Cat, Gobert, any one of the bigs pick up foul trouble, he's the first one off the bench. So I see him locked into at least 20, 25 minutes for sure. But it's plenty of upside here to be had. And Naz Reid is a great fantasy point per minute producer. So anytime he gets the minutes, he can give you a score worth having and a score you need. So definitely got my eye on Naz Reid. Hopefully this game turns into a blowout and he can pick up extra minutes. Or hey, maybe Gobert or Karl Anthony Towns get into a little foul trouble and he picks up extra minutes. But either way, got my eye on Naz Reid in this spot at 4,200. Early little value piece I'm looking at, all right? Then at the center, man, give me Bam Adebayo. He's probably going to come in the lower own of these Heat players. People going to go to Hero, Duncan Robinson for sure if he plays. They're going to get to Caleb Martin. He had a solid game out last time. People probably going to be a little hesitant to get to Hawkins because he let us down. And they probably going to be scared to get to Bam just because of his price tag. So I expect the other Heat to garner more ownership than Bam. But I like getting to Bam. Like I just told you, man, it should revert to how it was earlier in the season with no Butler and before they got Rozier. Just a lot of pick and roll up tops with Bam and Hero, dribble handoffs. The offense are going to work through these two, man. I definitely like getting the Bam Adebayo here. He can pull Big Brook Lopez out of the paint and work off and beat him off the dribble, that sort of thing. I'm not really worried about the matchup here. I like Bam Adebayo at 8,300, man. There you have it. Just starting five for DraftKings. De'Aaron Fox, Tyler Hero, Simone Fontecchio, Naz Reid, and Bam Adebayo, man. Thank you. Get some exposure to these guys. Get them in your player pools, man. Hero and Bam, I got them together. My boy Cam will be so proud of me. Let's go look at FanDuel, man, and check out what I'm liking over here. At the top, I want to look at Damian Lillard, 8,900. We saw him only get, 22, 23 minutes last night as they handled the Nuggets pretty easily. So I'm expecting Dame Lillard to be the fresher of the two. Giannis ain't played but like 30, but Dame Lillard working his way back. 22 minutes last night. Like I said, they pretty much handled the Nuggets easily. Coming in this spot against the Miami Heat, I like going right back to the well with Damian Lillard here. The Heat give it up to opposing backcourts here. I like Dame Lillard. You know it's the him and Giannis show. Hopefully he can have that shot going and get a big game going. I mean, we still haven't got a huge game from Lillard yet so far this year. I need one of them 65 games where, Lillard hit like 7, 8 threes. I'm still looking for that type of performance from Lillard. It's in the bag. Hopefully it rears his head tonight, but definitely taking some stabs on Damian Lillard at 8,900. At the shooting guard, gonna look at Duncan Robinson. If he plays, think he's a nice value piece. He's gonna be the shooter that's at the elbow or in the corner when Tyler Hero and Bam is running that pick and roll. He gonna be looking to get Duncan Robinson some spot up threes. I like getting to him provided he goes. He is questionable here in this spot though, shoulder injury and that little elbow hyperextension he got last time. So I like looking at Duncan Robinson, but definitely gonna need that injury news. At the small forward, my boy, man, the big fettuccine, Simone Fontecchio, a little more expensive over here. But like I said, if he's getting 30-plus minutes, man, he has a 30-pointer and a little 30 to 40-pointer in the bag at 5,600. Definitely could be solid for you in a matchup here against the Lakers. I definitely still got my eye on Mr. Fontecchio. At the power forward spot, Kevin Durant, man, 10K. I definitely want to get some pieces of this Sacramento Phoenix game, man. I'm going to take some shots on Booker. I might sneak Bill in a 20 max there, but definitely get into some KD, playing some other side of it as well with Fox and a little bit of Sabonis. But Kevin Durant, man, just been playing well. This Suns team is looking crisper. They trying to, get it all together so they can make that deep playoff run. And KD is just not an answer for him, man. It's just a matchup nightmare for pretty much every team in the league. Sign me up for KD. I don't got to give you an extensive breakdown. You know what he does, man. And at the center spot, Bam Adebayo once again. I'm staying with Bam. He's probably going to be the lower owned of these Heat players. If I had to guess right now, it'll probably be Hero, Robinson if he plays, Caleb Martin, then maybe Jaquez and Bam might be tied for the fourth highest on here. I just know people are not going to really want to go to Bam, especially over here on FanDuel when he's 9K. But I like Bam in this spot, man. I take advantage of the lower ownership, especially in a game that people are going to be going to. I always like to look for the little hidden gems. Like when you got a team that got some starters out and the team is getting heavy ownership, whenever it's starters down there that who could play well, and I know they're not going in as much ownership, or the field is not going to them as much as they should, I like to get to those guys in this spot. And I think you're going to have one of those spots here with Bam. Love getting to them at 9K, man. There you have it, your starting five for FanDuel. Bam Adebayo, Kevin Durant, Simone Fontecchio, Duncan Robinson, and Damian Lillard. Get you some exposure to these guys. Get them in your player pools. They for sure going to be in mine, all right? That's going to do it for us here today, man. Y'all know the motto. Chances make champions. Y'all green up. I'll catch y'all next time, all right? Let's get it.